And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, here we are again, another day committed to helping you win as your consumer advocate. It's all about you, our radio, our TV show listeners out there, viewers of our show. We want to help you be a more informed consumer, make you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. 80 categories of consumer advocate content, advice, and information that we deliver to you daily right here on 4 o'clock drive time, AM 860 The Answer. Weekend show, Sunday mornings on 102.5 The Bone. And we've got a daily TV show as well on WeBeam TV, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, and just search Binge Networks and you'll be able to find our TV show out there. Of course, a plethora of information on all the social media sites as well. And we want to invite you. Of course, you know, we're big time into helping our veterans around here with the Consumer Quarterback Show and the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. So we've got an event that's going to be benefiting our wounded warriors coming up on January 8th. It's a Wednesday, 7 o'clock over at Florida Firearms Academy. And we want to invite you to check out eventbrite.com. General admission tickets are $15. You got $50 ticket out there. It's including food, items signed, VIP meet and greet with Ken Shamrock, the UFC Hall of Famer and WWF legend, founder of Valor BK, as well as Tampa's own Antonio Tarver, 5-time world boxing champion, and he was his co-star of Rocky Balboa with Sylvester Stallone. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have some great networking out there, business networking. Lots of entrepreneurs are going to be in the room. Come out and check us out on Wednesday, January 8th, 7 o'clock, Florida Firearms Academy. It's going to be a great time here in Tampa Bay, coming up just around the corner. And we got a great lineup for you here today on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Fred DeFelice, welcome in, sir.
Great to be here.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, waterscience.us. We're going to talk about how there's so much stuff in our water. Most people don't know about it.
They don't. Yeah.
They don't have a clue about the pharmaceuticals. What else? We got the plastics, microplastics.
Microplastic particles, chlorine.
We found out last time Viagra's the number one pill in the water, right?
Yep. Pharmaceutical drugs, rampant.
Yeah.
So we're bathing in Viagra?
You never know.
Water,
it's in there.
That's not good.
Yeah, it's in there. We got Alex Lima in the house. Blackbelt Fitness. Welcome in, sir.
Thank you, man. Always a pleasure to be here. Love being here.
Yeah, man. Good stuff. So consumer advocate, helping people defend themselves, self-defense. You teach martial arts. You're actually a practitioner yourself. You got a fight coming up at some point. You're talking about fighting again.
Yeah, shooting for one in March. Was offered one in January, but I don't think that one's going to go through, but definitely going to be competing in March. So yeah, I'm still an active combat sports athlete. So
awesome, man.
Yeah, I got some big seminars and stuff coming up too. Going to be doing a little traveling. So I'm
very cool.
To all that. Yeah.
Self-defense. It's a big one out there. You know, self-defense. That's something more and more people are talking about. How to defend yourself. And not only from just a physicality standpoint, but a mental game.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It's more mental than anything. I mean, you can have the the physical attributes, but it's a different ball game to have the mental, know-how and the ability to be able to apply mentally what needs to happen during a combat situation, whether it's for sport or for self-defense.
Yeah, kids bullying in school. We'll talk about that. There's lots of things folks can take you up on. Your location on Waters is
5638 West Waters Avenue, right off Waters and Benjamin Road, right there off of the Veterans Expressway. Awesome location. We got tons of classes going on throughout the month. I believe we did a count, it was over 25 or 30 classes per month going on between the kids and the adults, and that's not including private lessons and stuff that are available as well. So
that's awesome.
It's a lot of stuff.
I like it. All right, Alex Lima's in the house, Fred DeFelice as well. Now, save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. I would just hit send on it, 813-670-7372. Go ahead and plug that into your phone, hit send, and then hit end, and then hit save as the Consumer Quarterback Show, 813-670-7372. That's a number you're going to want to save in your phone. We've got 80 categories of consumer advocate content and advice.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
And we love it when the hotline blings and rings. We want to make sure we have you reaching out to us. We've had an uptick in calls lately. We really appreciate everybody reaching out. We had questions, lots of different questions. We had, the attorney Jason Coble was on the show a couple days ago talking about workers' comp and unsafe work environments. We had people calling in about that. That's what I love about our show is it's different from a lot of the, talking heads that you find on radio and TV. Our show is different. We're actually helping you as a consumer advocate. We're here to help you make sure that you're not paying commission breath, or abiding by, commission breath. All these different areas where we can help you save money and time when it comes to your real estate, credit, finance, estate and tax planning, self-defense, home services, so many different ways. ConsumerQB.com. That's your number one resource. ConsumerQB.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors on our website. And this segment is brought to you by Taps Restaurant, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is Taps Restaurant, International Plaza and Bay Street. Excellent location. I love going over there to Bay Street, and the restaurant is awesome itself. Taps Restaurant Bar and Lounge, excellent food, very friendly staff, beautiful ambiance as well. I love the ambiance, and you have outdoor seating, so it's pretty cool this time of year to go hang out. And you can bring your dogs. Your furry friends are welcome to International Plaza on Bay Street. Our official restaurant partner is Taps Restaurant. Now, make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. A couple of hot listings here for the Consumer Quarterback Show and the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I got a hot commercial listing here, 516 Alternate 19 in Palm Harbor. Now, think about it. If you're a business owner or maybe just a mixed use, you want to live in Palm Harbor, but you want to maybe have a cash flow opportunity and build, commercial retail spaces. This is a great opportunity. Alternate 19. It's also known as 516 Alt 19 in Palm Harbor. Now, what you've got is a vacant land that is it's got some frontage on 19 there, but you also have land to build. So the owner has plans in place that you could utilize. So she's got living currently upstairs, and then downstairs you'd have retail. So think about that. If you're a business owner paying rent somewhere, and I know rents are high right now, you're probably paying $3,000, $5,000, $7,000 or more a month in rent. Buy this piece of land that we have listed for a very affordable price here at Alternate 19 in Palm Harbor, one of the hottest real estate markets in the entire Tampa Bay area. And the state of Florida, for that matter. 516 Alt 19 Palm Harbor. Check out all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, we got Fred DeFelice in the house. Waterscience.us is his website, and a longtime master plumber. Many years in the business, and now you have a passion for helping people drink healthy water, bathe in healthy water, and live better lives through what you're allowing folks to, putting on their commercial or residential properties.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I love being on the show because I do have a passion about educating people as well.
Yes.
There's so much miscommunication, misinformation out there about water treatment. And that's what we strive to do, is really educate the consumer. So basically, our company, Water Science US, we've been using this technology now for about 13 years. So what we do is we assemble and actually manufacture the no-salt whole house water purification systems. And we're really proud of it. This technology allows us to treat your water for all the bad stuff that we mention all the time here.
Yes.
And also deal with scale that's caused by the healthy minerals in the water. So our water leaves you with all the bad stuff out, but all the good, healthy minerals in.
Yes.
And a lot of the technology actually was developed for the space program. So everything is state of the art. I like to compare our systems when we compare them to a water softener that people are familiar with.
Yeah.
The water softener would be the Model T. Our system would be the Lexus.
Let's talk about that for a moment, Fred, because a water softener, and again, just from a real estate agent's knowledge and some background in real estate from a not construction but preservation business, from my understanding, a water softener is simply affecting the chemical composition of the water so that your soap and your shampoos will do their job better and rinse off easily.
Yeah.
Right. It's not pulling out stuff, pharmaceuticals. It's not pulling out the microplastics, all the garbage that's in the water. Right.
Right. It's not a filter. It's not a filtration system.
So there's no comparison of waterscience.us technology versus what a water softener can do.
Correct.
Yeah.
And, 30, 40 years ago, that's all they knew about was a water softener.
Right.
And basically that was, people complained about the scaling on your dishes and shower doors from the minerals in the water. The minerals are good for us, but they cause these kind of problems.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that's how they came about with that. Technically, it's called an ion exchange. The hardness ions are exchanged for sodium. So you have to use salt with a water softener.
That's right.
That puts sodium in your water, so you don't want to drink it. And that slippery feeling you feel when you're in the shower isn't soft water, it's salt.
So you're basically flooding the system with salt.
Yeah.
And you're exchanging it. But it's doing nothing for your body in terms of.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, in terms of what.
And it pollutes the environment. They're outlawed. Water softeners are outlawed in many states, beginning with California. Any place where they experience drought or shortage of water, they got to get rid of them because they waste billions of gallons of water a year.
Wow.
Plus
the things you don't know, man.
No.
The average consumer has no idea about that.
They don't. And we're educating, other than this show, one person at a time.
That's right.
So, we need more help doing that.
Yeah. Well, we're going to help you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. If you have interest in, improving your water quality, and think about how much water you drink, whether you're making lemonade at home, sweet tea at home, you're bathing in it, it's absorbing through our skin. So number one, the largest organ in the body is the skin, the system that you have. Text the word water to our Consumer Advocate Hotline. Just simply text water to 813-670-7372. And all you have to do is text the word water to our Consumer Advocate Hotline, 813-670-7372. We're going to put you in touch with Fred DeFelice. And I think sometimes he actually offers, for the first 3 listeners that do that, some type of a incentive or credit towards a trade-in or something along those lines.
We're offering a $500 trade-in. Get rid of that water softener.
Nice. Okay. Awesome. Sounds good. Fred DeFelice in the house. Waterscience.us. Text to our hotline and we'll talk to you there, or consumerqb.com. Just submit an email form and we'll put you in touch with Fred DeFelice. And he's going to sit down with you. And it's an educational approach, no hard sales tactics, anything like that. Super awesome guy. We've known him a long time here, friend of the program. And we got Alex Lima coming up here, Blackbelt Fitness. We're going to talk self-defense coming up. We're going to talk about bullying in school, some of these things that we're seeing happening that is causing a lot of hardships in families, many families here as well. As our feel-good story of the day coming up on our Consumer Quarterback Show, our feel-good story, we got a stranger's act of kindness that inspires women's children to buy gifts for kids in the hospital. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. We really appreciate you tuning in here to the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to help you win in any marketplace. Big shout out to the Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The beautiful Bilmar Beach Resort on Gulf Boulevard and Treasure Island. I love going over there, and we're actually going for New Year's this year. It's going to be a great time. They got the standing ovations. If you haven't seen these beautiful sand castles, it's awesome. 10-foot tall sand castles, and I shouldn't say castles. It's literally designs of all types. Beautiful artwork made out of sand. It's a really cool sight to see. Bilmar Beach Resort, Treasure Island. They've got the restaurant right there on site, the Sloppy Joe's restaurant, beach bar. Bilmar Beach Resort. I think they still have some rooms left for the New Year's holiday celebration. And check them out. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Talk to Clyde Smith now. He's the general manager over at the Bilmar Beach Resort. Let him know that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show, and he's going to hook you up, give you some special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And this is the Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. A couple of hot listings here we want to let you know about here in Tampa Bay that we've got some opportunities for purchasing real estate. 861 Mandalay Avenue, Clearwater Beach, 200 steps from the sugar sand beaches and dolphin-filled waters of North Clearwater Beach. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 3rd bedroom in the back. Can't count it technically. Not a closet. 861 Mandalay Avenue. Price below the comparables here at $695,000. Beautiful opportunity to purchase a beach home in Tampa Bay. 5822 Schooner Way in Tampa, one of our hot properties for the week. Owner did a $15,000 price reduction. This property is getting ready to go under contract, I'm sure. 5822 Schooner Way, 2-story. Beautiful waterfront property here on a freshwater lake filled with bass and all types of great fishing. But you've also got direct access to the Gulf of Mexico through the upper Tampa Bay as well. So you're boating to dinner. You're enjoying that Tampa Bay lifestyle. You're 5 minutes from the airport. 5822 Schooner Way. Just reduced $15,000. Check out all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. Somewhere sunny. We got Fred DeFelice in the house, waterscience.us. Now we're talking with Alex Lima, Blackbelt Fitness. Welcome back in. We talk a lot about self-defense here on the show, and self-defense is something that people really need to take serious.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of times people are kind of blissfully unaware of the way life works. I promise you, nobody that's ever been attacked or been in a fight in the middle of the street or something like that, or had to defend themselves, they didn't wake up that day thinking, hey, I'm going to get attacked today or something's going to happen. So it's better to be prepared for a situation that we hope never happens than to be caught in a situation and be completely off guard and unprepared for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you get those calls, just like we talked with Thomas King, Florida Firearms. He's got those police officers, those private investigators, those fire department. He's got people coming in there talking about things happening. You get people calling you saying, hey, I had attempted rape, or I had, my kid got bullied in school.
Yeah,
how does that conversation go down, man?
Absolutely. Well, and I have military and law enforcement personnel that I've trained as well. So, I hear their side of the story as well. And then being a first responder myself, I see it, being a paramedic and a firefighter, I've seen it. I've gone to those calls where, man, I look at it, and if this person would have known just a little bit of self-defense, it wouldn't have gone this way.
Right.
You don't have to be a master. You don't have to be a 10-time world, champion to be able to defend yourself. But you need to have some basic practices and principles in place. You got to know at least some fundamentals.
Yeah.
But yeah, those conversations, they happen all the time. I have people calling me, and unfortunately, I'm getting that phone call after this event has occurred.
Exactly.
It's better to prepare. It's better to be prepared, man. Than
that's right.
It's a tough phone call to listen to every time it happens.
Now, obviously, we're on the radio. We're in a studio here. We got our TV show version. What's a radio 101 if there's such a thing as a tip? Have a good base. Have your hands up. If somebody's approaching you, protect your face. Like what's a good over the radio waves tip kind of thing that we can explain?
So obviously it's easier something to demonstrate, which by the way, the end of this month, the last Friday of this month, I believe it's December 28th, I am having the 27th, I believe, the last Friday of the month. Regardless, I'm holding a free self-defense class.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, for everybody, anybody.
27th.
If 27th, awesome. Yeah, so if you train at another gym, doesn't matter. If you're just interested, doesn't matter the age group. I'm doing kids, adults, everybody, to teach these basics that we're talking about right now. But yeah, number one is situational awareness. Use your gut instinct. Take a look around. If something looks kind of shady, it usually is. If you're at a party and people are looking a little wild, you can usually tell it's just going to get out of hand eventually. Ladies, when you're out at the clubs, drinking and stuff like that, never drink to the point of being too intoxicated.
Yep.
I live by a rule that I never do so much of anything that I cannot defend myself intelligently.
Right.
So when you're taking that walk to the parking lot afterwards,
Yep.
again, situational awareness, check your surroundings. Don't be caught up texting on your phone. Try to park in a well-lit area so you're not walking into a dark spot trying to find the keyhole to your car.
Yep.
As far as basics when it comes to fighting, actually a tip that most people might be popular to disagree with me on this, but
sure.
If you are not a trained fighter, if you have not worked your boxing fundamentals and know how to, because there's an art form on how to close your fist, and Antonio Tarver and Ken Shamrock will probably attest to this. If you do not know how to close your fist properly, it's very, very easy for you with that first punch to break your hand, and then now that hand's out of the fight. So I'm a big proponent of actually open hands when it comes to a self-defense situation. Especially, I know how to punch. I've knocked guys out. But if I'm going against a guy that's 300 pounds, he's 6'8", he's much bigger than me, my hand is much smaller than his thick skull. When I go to swing at his face, there's a good chance I'm going to break my hand. So I'm going to probably initiate with open hands to soften him up, and then go into whatever onslaught I need to bring. So.
Nice. Elbows are good to bring into the equation.
Absolutely. Knees, elbows, but that's so that's different. That's getting into close quarter now.
Yeah.
Because once you're jammed up from your punch, because in order for a strike to be effective, you have to fully extend it.
Yeah.
So your punch or your kick needs to be fully extended, or it's not going to have any power behind it.
Yeah.
Once you shortchange that, now you need to switch to other weapons. You got to go to knees, elbows, headbutts or whatever if we're talking self-defense. So.
Yeah, we're talking with Alex Lima here, Blackbelt Fitness on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And that was one of the premises to what Ken has done. Ken's launched the Valor BK.
Yeah.
And the big premise is like, hey, this is actually, bare knuckle is actually safer fighting than the gloves that are going to slowly wear somebody down and potentially cause brain damage at some point.
Yeah, I can see the science, some of the thoughts behind that. When your hands are protected, you're able to let loose a little more. Now I know if I throw this punch and I throw it wrong, or guy tucks his head, I hit his head, now I broke my hand. So actually fighters are going to tend to kind of pull back on those punches. They're not swinging as hard as when they do have the gloves on.
Yeah.
And then the gloves do, they don't provide much cushion and support, but it is a little bit of a pillow in between the impact of your head and the fists.
Yep.
So it's protecting the fighter's hands and bones, but it's not good for the fighter receiving the shots because he's not feeling how hard he's really getting hit. He knows he's getting hit hard because his brain is rattling in there.
Yes.
Shifting in the fluid,
Yes.
And that's how concussions start. I don't know if people know that your concussions, and what it is it's not that you have your brain is in cerebral spinal fluid. Mm-hmm. So you have your skull, and then in the middle there's this like jelly, and then your brain is floating. When you get hit, whether it's a car accident or a fist or a 2x4, your brain now bounces off the inner walls of your skull, and that's how you start having injuries, and that's how people get punch drunk. And
it's the soccer ball too, the soccer ball coming off the head.
Absolutely,
that's what they talk about there. So kids being bullied in school, it's got to be more of a problem with social media.
It's terrible. Yeah. All social media, social media is great for a lot of things, but we use it for a lot of the wrong things as well. The cyberbullying, it's terrible because now a kid, I'm not a bully, but if I was picking on you, at least I was picking on you to your face before.
Right.
Or I was calling you and you knew it was my voice. Now I can start a fake account and start just traumatizing you constantly. Yes. You don't even know who it is that's picking on you. And, so this, bullies like criminals are cowards.
Yeah.
They're cowards and they're not going to face you straight up. But as a kid, it's even harder to deal with these things mentally. It has a huge mental traumatic effect on a kid because you have no life experience. You haven't grown up facing problems yet.
Yeah.
So even though like me and you, some guy says some junk to me at a bar, it's whatever. I can blow it off. I know this guy's an idiot, right? Yeah. But a kid, it's gonna really hurt them and it's gonna dwell on their mind. And now
their brain's not developed.
It's not, man. And now they're gonna grow up if this isn't taken care of, and they're gonna have all these insecurities and stuff that aren't necessary. So I love the confidence that the training brings to kids. Like
absolutely, confidence is a big thing. Mm-hmm. When we come back, we're going to jump a little bit more. I want to talk more about confidence and how you develop that in children and adults of all all ages as well. We're talking about confidence here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Fred DeFelice as well. More about water science. What's in your water? Do you actually know what's in your home drinking water? I bet you don't. Find out about it right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We also have our Strangers Act of Kindness here as well. Women's children are now buying gifts in the hospital because of one stranger's act of kindness. Find out about that right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. My wife and I own and operate a top real estate group here in the Tampa Bay market, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. And this segment is brought to you by Infinity Medical Institute. Over 10 years in the business, and they've successfully treated over 40,000 patients with pellet hormone therapy and bio-natural hormone replacement therapy as well. Many benefits that can be associated for both men and women are low T therapy, weight loss plans. They have cosmetic services like Botox, improved sexual wellness, increased energy, and they're also bringing in stem cells now as well. So check them out at 1715 Northwest Shore Boulevard, suite number 100. And give them a call. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check them out online, infinitymedicalinstitute.com. Let them know you heard about them right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we want to help you win in your real estate business, of course. And we've got a couple of hot listings here that I want to talk to you about here. in Tampa Bay. We've got some hot listings. 216 North Spring Boulevard in Tarpon Springs. This is a gorgeous 2-story home. And if you check out the beautiful photography compliments of Fabre Frameworks, you'll see that we've got some beautiful upgrades on the inside of this home as well. It's a large lot. You got room in the backyard for a pool, and it's plenty of upgrades throughout. Beautiful wood flooring, updated kitchen, and a large area downstairs for that could be used for a home office, home-based business, potentially. 216 North Spring Boulevard in Tarpon Springs. A hot real estate property listing, compliments of the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. And 4348 Harbor Point Drive in Port Richey. This is a gorgeous home, 6,700 square feet, and it is directly on the Gulf of Mexico, the bay access right here. Bring your boat. And just a gorgeous home here at 4348 Harbor Point Drive in Port Richey. 2 security gates to get through before you're even on the street. But check out those phenomenal views. Again, Fabre Frameworks does a great job with the professional photography on these properties. Check out all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. PlatinumMVPTeam.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, we got Fred DeFelice in the house, waterscience.us, and Alex Lima as well, Blackbelt Fitness and martial arts here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And let's jump back into it, Fred. You know, when you look at what people don't know, it's one of those things, you don't know what you don't know, and there's a lot of stuff that we see, you know, in the mainstream media. They're even talking about bringing reclaimed water as a source of drinking water, right?
Actually got approval for the funding for that. That project is on hold right now in Tampa Bay, but it's done in other locales. California was probably the first one to do that process. And, you know, they can pretty much purify that sewage water, if we want to call it that.
Yeah.
Toilet water, we call it sometimes.
Wow.
But they're not able to get the pharmaceutical drugs out.
Right.
It's something they cannot do at the plant.
Yeah.
So we have a system that'll do that. And people are concerned about that, you know.
Yeah.
Anyone that has a compromised immune system in any way, they really have to be careful what they're drinking, you know. So look at our elderly population here. We're blessed, right?
Right.
And people are not realizing the sodium in their water, the pharmaceutical drugs, the microplastic particles. If you're buying bottled water, 90% of bottled water has microplastic particles. So it's there, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So listen, this is the world we live in. We got to recognize what the situations are.
Exactly.
You know? We got to learn to protect ourselves physically, but we really need to talk about our health.
Yeah, you turn me on to it. I've got this going on, and I've got these metal containers. You put your water in here, you fill it up in the morning. You got a couple of these in the car. Could last you most of the day. Seldom, rarely. I do grab a bottle of water somewhere, and it's temporary. It's on the go. It's easy. It's collapsible or whatever. You're in an amusement park for the day or one of those things. But definitely as a daily practice, you're setting yourself up for plastics in your body.
And we still got tons of people that reuse those plastic bottles too, after it's been in the hot car and all that stuff.
That's right.
Can't do it.
Yeah, if you're freezing that water, if you're heating that water, when it's in the plastic, you're increasing the chances of those plastics being seeped in, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a challenge, and it's one of those things where you really got to think about it from a perspective of how much is your health really worth it? You pay for it now, you pay for it later, right? So if you end up in the hospital at some point, because you're drinking bad water, and you come down with whatever type of illness, or you have something going on, it's really getting to a critical point. And I was listening to a podcast, and they were interviewing Jesse the Body Ventura. What a great story that guy has. Interesting story, background, a motorcycle guy, and of course the governor of Minneapolis, was it? Minnesota. Or Minnesota. And so he mentioned that somehow they got on conversation of putting fluorides in the water.
Yeah.
So they said, guess what other country did that back in the day? It was Germany. Yeah. And the fluorides have some type of a what's not calming effect, what's that Prozac type effect when the fluoride's in the water. Is that true? Have you heard that before?
Yeah. If they, it depends on the level that they put in.
Yeah.
Here it's 7 parts per million.
Yeah.
And that's unbelievable. That's a high amount.
Yeah.
The thing that people don't realize, it's not pharmaceutical grade fluoride that the dentist puts on your teeth. It comes from the aluminum waste industry. It's a waste product from aluminum.
Wow. So some contractor's getting kickback because he selling off his leftover.
You cannot bury it in the ground. The federal government won't allow it.
So they put it in the water.
They found a way to put it in the water.
Holy cow. Unbelievable. The more I'm around on this God's green earth, man, and I listen to some different podcasts out there, and I don't want to say the names because they're good podcasts. I don't want to lose my audience.
No.
but the idea is, if you look and you listen and you see and you bring in information, you're realizing that money drives a lot of it. Politics are unbelievably
power.
Politics is the only area where bribery is legal, right? If we did that in the private sector, we're thrown in jail. And these situations, and so protect yourselves, people. That's all I'm saying. We're not going down a religious path here or a political path, a left or right type thing. It's about protecting you and your family is what we're talking about.
Exactly, and get educated.
Yes.
That's what we do. I provide people with links that they can find out for yourself.
Yeah.
Talk to my customers. I love them when they give their testimonies. We got one gal that was really suffering with what do you call that? Psoriasis? Psoriasis. Yeah. And it was the stuff in her water. Once she got our stuff, man, the minerals in the water is good for your skin too.
Wow. Yeah. So not only are you got all the junk in there, you're removing with some of the different saltwater systems that we talked about. You're removing the good stuff from being in the water that's in the water. So we want you reaching out to Fred DeFelice, waterscience.us. And of course, our hotline is 813-670-7372. Call to action is to text water to 813-670-7372. We'll put you in touch with Fred. His email is fred@waterscience.us. That's Fred, F-R-E-D, at waterscience.us. So Fred, what else are you seeing, man? I'm sure you have any other success stories. I know over the years you've probably got some really really interesting stories. I love stories.
Yeah, boy, I got a book compiled already from people's testimonies. I'm trying to think of some of the ones that really stick out, but
that's a good idea, by the way.
Yeah,
you should write a book about water. Water
that's
man.
On my bucket list.
Yeah.
So
I've started my third book. I've written 2 already, and I've got my third one starting. I'm going to be releasing it in March of next year.
Excellent.
But it's kind of similar to the theme of the show, the real estate business, what we've done. Some of the things I've gathered over the years of working with guys like Ken Shamrock, Grant Cardone, these different people that we've had an influence with. Warwick Dunn Charities. They leave impressions on you. And it's something that I want to relay to other people. But I think you got a book inside you, man.
Yeah.
The knowledge that you have around water and health and plumbing.
Plumbing, second generation master plumber.
Yeah.
So I always say I've been in water most of my life, right?
Yeah.
Aquaman.
And mostly hot water with my wife.
And mostly hot water with the wife. That's right. Fred DeFelice, waterscience.us. We got Alex Lima in studio as well. Blackbelt Fitness. And we're going to talk self-defense on the other side of this break. I want to remind you as well, come out to our event. We've got Florida Firearms Academy hosting us for this Wounded Warriors. It's all proceeds benefiting to Wounded Warriors. It's Florida Firearms Academy, January 8th, 7 p.m. And it's the Winner Circle. So check on eventbrite.com. We've got tickets available, meet and greet. You can meet Ken Shamrock, UFC Hall of Famer, WWF wrestling legend. Also, Tampa's own Antonio Tarver, 5-time world boxing champion and co-star of Rocky Balboa. The Winner Circle. It's going to be on Wednesday, January 8th, 7 p.m. Proceeds benefiting Wounded Warriors. Check out eventbrite.com and more from our expert contributors here. When we come back, we got Alex Lima in the house, Blackbelt Fitness. We're going to talk self-defense. We're going to talk school bullying and what you can do about it, and more from our expert contributors here. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, we're back. Brandon Rhymes, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team. Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in any marketplace. That's our goal. We're working with buyers, sellers, and investors. So if you're looking to purchase real estate, you got to be careful now because there's a lot of properties that are overpriced. So as you heard Ray Hall Appraisals on our show, we talk a lot about that. If you're making offers on real estate properties and you don't know what the comparables are and what it should actually be, you're setting yourself up to move into a negative equity situation. And there's a market shift coming. We're already seeing prices dropping in California and parts of New York. So it happens on the coast and it works its way into the middle of the state. So we're seeing a market shift happening. You've got to work with an agent that knows what's going on, knows the market, knows how to calculate absorption rates, and making sure that you are protected in your real estate business. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com. You'll see all of our listings there as well. We got 45 plus listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. I got a lot of vacant land available. I want to talk to you a little bit about some vacant land. We've got some property from Pasco County to Pinellas County, 1401 Seminole Boulevard in Largo. Commercial opportunity for vacant land, 1401 Seminole Boulevard in Largo. We've got 9200 Gun Highway in Odessa. This is a property that's on the corner of Racetrack Road and Gun Highway in Odessa, 9200 Gun Highway. Check out that beautiful property. We got 15676 Mahoney Drive in Spring Hill, 9 acres in Spring Hill, ready to develop or build your beautiful home in the Shady Acres subdivision, 9 acres. So lots of vacant land, many more vacant land listings. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com, PlatinumMVPTeam.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
Every day we're going to tell you something positive in our Feel Good segment of the day.
Tell me something good.
All right, so an Oklahoma woman took to social media to share how a stranger's act of kindness inspired her children to give back. Emily posted a story on the More Oklahoma community Facebook page. This is what she wrote, quote, "I am only posting this hoping that the very sweet and thoughtful lady who touched my heart yesterday will see it. Thank you for the time. Thank you for taking your time out of your day to stop by my table at Chick-fil-A while I ate lunch with my son. Thanks to you, all the kind words you said about us, and thank you for this $100 bill. Your words, kindness, and generosity meant so much to me, you left me with tears. You inspired me to pass along the kindness you showed and teach my children about kindness and giving back. So they decided with your money to buy toys for kids in the hospital. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving me the opportunity to spread the kindness you showed me. I am forever grateful." Strangers' act of kindness causes a ripple effect in the community. Pretty cool right there.
Yeah.
I love those feel-good stories.
It's awesome.
Feel-good story of the day for you there. All right, so we got Fred DeFelice in the house, waterscience.us. Also, Alex Lima, Blackbelt Fitness, self-defense. What's another message you want folks to know? We talk a lot about self-defense, being prepared. It's a sport too. It's fun. It's after hours, for the kids sometimes.
It is. It's a fitness, sport, and self-defense aspect of it. I don't think any other sport can really... Other than combat sports, there's nothing that's a catch-all that hits all three for you. It's fitness, you're learning self-defense, which is a life skill, and it's a sport if you choose to compete. Now, when you're choosing a place to train at, you need to think about what your goals are. And goals can change, that's fine. But there are some schools, some gyms that train specifically for sport, and that's fine. But there is a big difference when you're fighting for sport and when you're fighting for your life. We personally, we train more for self-defense. With my people, we train for a real fight at all times. Self-defense, I train security personnel, bouncers, all that. And if they choose to compete, well, then we dial back the rules. Now we have to fight within a rule set. So we just take away some of the things that we normally practice for a couple months as we prepare for that type of battle.
And sometimes it's an unfair fight. So you're fighting one person, the other person jumps in. So you've got multiple things that you've got to be aware of.
Absolutely. Yeah, we train that as well. We do sometimes multiple attackers coming at you at the same time. We do one-on-one scenarios. The big thing with us is with my system is we fight within the 5 ranges. So there's 5 ranges to a fight that you need to master if you want to be proficient at it. I think whether for sport or self-defense. The one is the freestyle range. The freestyle range is the distance between you and me where we cannot hit each other. Nothing can happen, right? Get a little bit closer. Now we get into the kicking range. Now legs can start coming at you. Get closer than that. Kicks aren't going to be effective because you can't fully extend them. Now you're going to catch hands. So now we get into our boxing range. Then we get closer than that, then that's the close quarter stuff we were talking about earlier, where we get into the knees, elbows, and what we call dirty boxing, fighting from inside the clinch. Then after that, any closer than that, we're hugging each other. We can't become one person. So the next thing is taking it to the ground and then fighting from the ground.
Yeah.
Which is a whole different world.
Grappling. And, I remember, playing football pretty much my whole life. At 10 years old, I played in Pop Warner Super Bowl #1. And actually the real Super Bowl, a lot of these areas, these communities of Tampa Bay or this community, they call their bowl the Super Bowl.
It's loosely thrown around.
It's not the Super Bowl anymore.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was talking about the Pop Warner Super Bowl #1.
Yeah.
So, but, football, you gather some confidence there, but then when I went into high school, or even before that, I was doing USA Wrestling, and I realized that, hey, if I can shoot in, take somebody's legs down, I can take them to the ground. As a younger kid, or a smaller kid in many times, undersized, the underdog, that meant a lot to me because I got confidence at that point. Talk to me about that, how you do that with people, with the kids coming in too. I think that's huge.
Yeah, so kids and adults, I mean, not everybody that comes in to train has these super attributes where they're, long, tall athletes. You have to realistically fight within your abilities.
Yes.
If let's say someone's in a wheelchair, for example, I'm not going to turn them into a master kicker, but we can show them how to fight, use those hands and what they do have, to the best of their ability. I have trained handicapped people as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, with kids and stuff, and even my smaller adults, every fight starts standing up. It's we're facing each other. We got to close that distance, get into that range, and then you're going to have to work on being able to get inside. And then if it's a one-on-one situation, now this is different. If it's one-on-one, then we can take this guy to the ground and we can end this relatively quickly. Now, if you're talking multiple attackers, well, then you're going to have to keep your head on the swivel, and we're going to do something a little different. So if you're too focused on the ground fight at that point, there's nothing stopping this guy's buddy from coming up and just kicking you in the head, and stomping you. And now you're just on the floor where they wanted you to begin with.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things to consider that people don't think about. You don't think about these things unless you grow up in this environment, or you've been through these type of attack situations, or you train for this on a regular basis.
Yeah. And there's a lot of things that you see happening out there. I mean, people don't realize, since Tampa Bay is a port city, I think we're in the top 10, maybe even top 5 in terms of
human trafficking.
Yeah. I mean, so they're looking to steal your children. They're looking to, these perps out there, and you never know. You see some of the things happening at a high level. Who's involved,
Absolutely.
right? How high this stuff goes, because there's money involved. Again, back to the greed factor of human beings.
Yeah.
But you got to look out for your family. You've got to be on the lookout, especially in those situations. Dark. You're walking out. Somebody's hiding under your car.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that can happen.
Well,
man.
like so human trafficking, for example, those are intricate plots, man. It's usually not. I mean, sometimes it's just some guy grabbing somebody randomly, but for the most part, it's intricate. Don't think it's just because you're on a bad side of town. Like, they'll hang out at the parking lot of like a big mall where there's a lot of money around, because they know there's going to be money, there's going to be people. So now I'm snatching you up, and I'm getting somebody that has a Coach purse or whatever as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's plotted out, man.
Yeah.
That stuff doesn't happen just in quote unquote bad parts of town.
Yeah. And Chris Voss, the international hostage negotiator that I had on the show, the FBI lead hostage negotiator, author of Never Split the Difference, he has some examples in there too, where a lot of times they're going to jack a car and they're going to let one person go because there's my marketing plan.
Sure.
He kind of likens it to a market, any market.
Yeah.
Especially Haiti. A lot of people don't know it's the kidnapping capital of the world, Haiti. So if you're on vacation, that's another reason why you got to be extra diligent.
Absolutely, especially when you don't know your surroundings, man. It's you can't be again caught up on your phone, paying attention to the GPS, talking. Turn that radio down, pay attention to what you're doing, keep your head on the swivel, keep those eyes open.
Absolutely. All right, that brings us to our lightning round here. Top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds!
I majored in lightning round.
All right, here we go. Fred DeFelice, waterscience.us.
Here's what I suggest. We do this bottled water purchase challenge. I like what you do with comparing rent to owning.
Yes.
So I would like people to actually calculate what they're spending on bottled water a month, let's say. And I've met people that are spending about $100 every month on bottled water.
Wow.
Take that same money and trade it for either a financing program, or in January, we're also offering a lease-to-own program. So I guarantee you that probably for less money than what you're spending on bottled water, you can do our system.
Yeah.
You'll never buy another bag of salt or bottled water again.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
Yeah.
Waterscience.us, Fred DeFelice, the water expert here in Tampa Bay. I like that idea. Water bottle challenge.
Yeah.
How much are you spending in water? Using these containers that you can use over and over, aluminum, whatever they're made of. You got a glass bottle there.
Yeah,
I know you've got one. You've got your glass bottle. Hold it up to the camera. Yeah, there you go. So waterscience.us. So you got that there. So you fill those up before you leave the house. You drop some ice cubes in it. By the way, the ice is ran through the filter too.
Exactly.
So you're got filtered water all the way through. Yeah. All right, Alex Lima, Blackbelt Fitness.
Last Friday of the month, December 27th, come down to our free self-defense seminar at 5638 West Waters Avenue. There's only so much I can, teach you and talk to you about over the radio. Come see what I'm about. Come see what real fighting looks like, what real self-defense looks like, what a real gym looks like. That's not just marketing, just trying to get your kids in there as like an after-school daycare.
Yeah.
Learn real self-defense. Learn what this stuff is really about.
Yeah, protect your health, protect your family. A lot of in common today. It seems a little different, with water and self-defense, but really think about it. You're protecting your family, you're protecting the home, your loved ones. You're getting exercise, you're getting in shape, you're refueling, rehydrating your body, with good quality stuff. A lot of stuff undertones there. A lot of good stuff there. 5638 West Waters Avenue, Blackbelt Fitness. Check out the dojo. I've been there. It does a great job. Awesome, and it's an opportunity for you to increase your confidence too. It's amazing how that will seep over into your business life, your professional life. You're going to see confidence increased, and when you're a more confident person, you have that self-esteem battle going in your head. You're winning that in your head. It's going to take you to new places. It's going to help you, rise to the next level, change your game. And I highly recommend both of our expert contributors, Fred DeFelice, Alex Lima. Always a pleasure having you folks here in studio. Thanks for listening to our show. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or water, or carry it with you to and from your commute. Hand it to that person that you see in need. Swing a hammer for Habitat for Humanity. Donate some blood. Lots of ways that you can be a force for good in the community. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter. Check us out on Wednesday, January 8th for the Ken Shamrock and Antonio Tarver event. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Dancing with the Stars.
62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance Joe's Bar and Grill, but actually it's our 39th week of 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember it.
About
to be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and changed them.
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white. then they catch the left-hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
as your super connector. We want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back their rights. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
You're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves.